cheap, everything I need, and just let me go ahead and drive. I didn't care if it took me 3 or 4 days, you know what I mean? But of course, we're like, let's see if I can fucking do it in the full straight 19 hours, nonstop.
Yeah.
Let's just see if I can do it. I know my Jeep's fucking be harsh doing this. It's a soft top. I get like 60, 65.
Yeah.
If I'm going downhill, you know, I don't get fifth gear anymore. I only got fourth. Unless I'm going downhill, I can hit fifth gear. So it's not geared for as big as it's lifted and tires it has. I wish I could have got it rear geared, but didn't think about that at the time. But I still wanted to see if I could do the entire drive, because I can remember Afghanistan, we did longer drives than that.
Oh shit, dude, we drive out 8 hours one way and then go deliver shit all around and then drive 8 hours back. Stupid shit. Yeah, and then let's go ahead and get a few hours downtime and then report back.
And it's not like we're talking about, I drove down I-81.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Drove all through the mountains.
No, it was
all
like,
kinds of crazy
15 miles per hour, sometimes dark, and the lights suck on Humvees, and they've got like mortar holes full of fucking water and mud and stuff that you don't know how deep this thing gets. You can't see the other side of it.
I just hate driving in the mountains, man.
Yeah.
I
love driving in the fucking mountains, but it was hectic. It was hectic because it was so hard.
When them fucking roads would disappear and you'd have to climb up the side of the mountain.
Yeah.
No, I didn't like that, man.
I did.
No.
I was in off-road jeeping heaven. It was so great. And my truck
not that high.
Didn't have enough ass behind it. And I'd have to always downshift into first and shit like that. A couple times I had to put it in low range just so I could keep on going. The ones going to, my favorite was going to Tagab. My favorite was definitely going through Tagab. And the other one that was my favorite, that was super hectic, was going through Panjshir Valley.
Yeah,
that was
Panjshir
fucking,
Valley was nice.
That was hectic, but God, it was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. Tagab, I liked it because it was so fun to drive. I was like super off-roading, four-wheeling. I can get some fast stuff in. I can get some turns. We got some nice road, other stuff. And you had to...
They had that real long sand flat going to Tagab.
Yeah.
Yeah, up on that mountain. Like
it was that's what I call about the mesa.
Yeah.
That's what I call the mesa, because you came up, you hit switchbacks like this, and then you came up on top of this hill, right? And then there was like, it just opened up to like 30 different roads.
Yeah, just a desert.
Yeah, just 30 different roads with all these like trenches that some were there. Everything's flat, no vegetation, no houses on it. You could see the whole edge of this mesa that you're on top. And there's like 30 different roads all going the same route. There's only one exit on the other side of that mesa, right?
Yeah.
But people took their own routes because it had so much silt.
Yeah.
And the silt, even when it was dry, it was like 12 inches of silt, and it just dusted the fuck out of you. And you do slide. Those 5-ton Humvees fucking slide, a little bit. But you did not want to be up on top of it when it was raining and muddy. That was the shit show, and that's why there's 30 different roads, because everybody thought their way is better, right? But you went through that, and then you got on the other side, and you came down, and you had to cross that little bit more than I'm comfortable with flowing water.
Yeah.
You remember? And sometimes if it had rained recently, it'd be up and moving pretty swift, when you're like, okay, you put your Humvee in, I'd put it in low, I'd put it in second gear, I'd turn the fans off and shit, and I'd run through the water with it. We had a deep fording kit too on our Humvees. And I remember the tightest we ever got, it came up over the hood and hit us in our windshield about mid-height, right? And we're still going, and it's coming in the bottom of it. The water's just coming in and it's still moving, and I can see that it's kind of pushing me off my line, my exit, right? So I'm starting to gas it a little bit more, make it go faster, come up in, and come up out of the exit. That's why I like doing spin tires, man. It's like playing spin tires, that game, because it reminds me of shit like that. But anyways, it'd come up out of that stuff, and it would do it every time. We'd have to open up our doors, let all the shit fucking pour the fuck out. We were all soaked. I was soaked. It poured into our air vents So the ones that are right up next to the windshield, right?
Yeah.
They poured through those, so it came out and was just like, bam, right on my fucking pants. It looked like I pissed my pants, right? We didn't care. You're gonna dry off in an hour of being in that thing? Yeah.
Yeah, not even that long. The thing's gonna turn into a steam bath.
I love driving to Tagab. And then, Pangier Valley, you said, like...
Yeah, Pangier Valley was awesome.
Yeah, you were talking about Pangier Valley being fucking awesome, and it was one of those areas that you come up this switchback, these shitty, brown, disgusting... It looks like post-apocalyptic nuclear waste.
Because there's
fucking
blown up tanks everywhere.
Yeah, there's blown up tanks and shit, old Russian stuff flipped over, minefields all over the place. We're driving through, and all of a sudden you come up to the top of this real steep mountain, and it cuts back real hard, like almost a real hard 90. Like there's a couple times where I've had to stop the Humvee, back up, and then make that turn. I had to do a 3-point turn to get my Humvee into that turn. Remember,
Right.
to go back down. But if you look over to the right,
Yeah, it was just
it
beautiful.
was. You saw it looked like Jurassic Park, man,
Yeah,
like
it
a
was-
real life Jurassic Park.
It was crazy. I never thought that Afghanistan would look like that. And when I came across that, I was like, holy shit. I was like, look at the water. I said, this looks like a picture, like a movie.
It looks like a postcard,
Yeah.
dude. Like some kind of painting movie that we
Just
saw.
green and beautiful blue water everywhere.
It looked like Lord of the Rings,
Yeah,
man.
it was
You know what I
crazy.
mean?
Yeah, because like nowhere else in Afghanistan looked like that. All the rest of it just looked like shithole.
It was just, you could just see from that thing a valley for fucking hundreds of miles, it almost seemed like, you know? And you can see the bright blue and green water that's coming down, cascading around these rocks. And then from that water, you see the villages and the roads right next to it on both sides. And then the green vegetation coming out from the river that swooped up the sides of the valley. You can see where it wasn't getting water anymore, and it went back to Afghanistan desert. You know what I mean? But you could see that for hundreds of miles.
Yeah,
dude.
that place was awesome. It was like that water
we
had
stopped.
something in it. You know what I'm saying?
We stopped, and we all got in. We made Gordo. I put the truck in park, and we had it running. I pulled the parking brake and everything because it doesn't have park. It has wait, no, I had the old school one. So no, it was neutral. It was reverse, neutral, drive, low, or 1-2, or stuff like that. So you had to put it in neutral and then pull the parking brake, and hopefully your parking brake was adjusted correctly to hold your ass. But from slipping down the mountain, sometimes those fucking brakes would let loose, and they just roll. The parking brake didn't matter. And we all got up in the gunner's seat and looked at it. And I was like, one of the first times we actually sightseed. It was amazing, dude.
Yeah, the place was awesome.
Pangier Valley was the most beautiful place I've ever seen. By far, yeah.
Still some dirty ass people. But
Yeah, they were mean. Well, they were ill-informed, man, and they were
didn't even know
super
who we
pride.
were. They didn't even know who we were. They
No.
kept asking the interpreter, are they Russians? Are they Russians? They were like, no, Americans. They were like, where's America? And
Yeah.
I was like, what? What the hell you mean, where's America?
Yeah, people don't even know what the fuck I am.
Yeah.
I'm an alien to them, man.
Yeah.
Like, I came down, how did they get here? You know?
Yeah.
How did they get here? We came from the air. What?
Yeah.
Came from the air. Yeah, they have these flying things that come down and they drop off these. What do you mean they have flying things? I'm not saying that they're that prehistoric, but those guys just don't understand how
Nah, man, they didn't.
the first world works.
They'd never seen a Humvee before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last time they seen a Humvee in that area was from something that was metal and armored was Russia, just trying to fuck everybody up.
Yeah.
Whatever, shoot, if it's brown, it's down. That's what the Russians were fucking thinking at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's wild.
They just wanted to eradicate the people, and Afghanistan is the most easily defended location you could ever defend in your life. If that was my home soil, I could defend it by myself for a fucking long ass time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you could get it to high ground.
Yeah.
You can always see when everybody's
The only
coming.
time the Russians started winning was when they had their helicopters, and they had nothing to fight off helicopters. So the Mujahideen and the Taliban were getting fucked up from the Russian helicopters. They had nothing to. They can't do small arms. They had AK-47s, you know,
the
and you
Americans
can't.
sent them
And
stingers.
good luck hitting one with an RPG. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we came on in and just gave them singers. That's why I was telling you need to watch Charlie Wilson's War,
Right.
because it explains all that.
Right.
It explains all of it. And yeah, there's some in there for dramatic effect, some side plot stuff like that, but it is a great interpretation of how that works.
Is that on Netflix?
I don't know if it is or not.